Hey guys, the gate was 8.58 million. That's U.S. dollars. The attendance was 17,588, sold out. Highest grossing single night event in arena history. Fight of the night, obviously went to Gaethje and Fiziev. Performance of the night went to Hadley and Gunner. They all won $50,000, so congratulations to them. Go ahead, brother.
I'm curious, obviously, great main event ending for Leon. How did you see the fight and how did you score it?
How did I score the main event?
Yeah.
I really didn't. It was a tough fight to score. I didn't really. I was literally standing in there, not knowing what was going to happen, and then Buffer came over and whispered in my ear.
What did you make of his performance, though? I mean, his takedown defense was incredible.
Hey, Lene, will you come over here? Yeah.
His takedown defense was great. He wouldn't let himself be pressured against the cage. What did you make of Leon's performance overall?
Whose performance?
Leon's.
Yeah. I mean, I expected a lot more wrestling out of Usman than I saw. And when he did try to wrestle, obviously Leon did a great job, especially if you compare it to the first fight.
You just shared a quote from Teddy Atlas saying that when he's always heard trainers say that when a fighter wins a belt, they become 30% better overnight.
Yeah, I just retweeted that. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, I believe it, and I think that there's absolutely a different level of confidence that you have when you win that type of a fight, and I can't even imagine the amount of nerves guys have going into that first fight that you might not feel the second time, and knowing that you have the power and the ability to knock the same opponent out. Plus, you got to look at Usman, who might be a little more gun shy. If you think of all the wars that he's been in with all the great fighters that he's beat, this is the guy who knocks him out.
Do you think Usman was a little bit more gun shy tonight?
Do I think Usman was?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen going in. I thought he was going to be very gun shy. I thought he was going to be, holding on to those legs all night. He did the exact opposite. He only shot a few times, and he was willing to mix it up in there.
Obviously, we had Colby Covington cage side. He wants to fight Leon in July. I'm curious if that's a fight you're interested in, or do you need to see how it plays out?
Yeah, I don't know when we'll do it, but yeah, that's the fight that makes sense. And Colby came here and cut weight, and did everything to be here for this fight. He deserves the fight.
So it's Leon Edwards versus...
Not to mention the fact that he's, the second or third best guy in the world.
So it is Leon versus Colby next?
Yeah.
Colby was in here and he said that he flew out here on a day's notice and cut 18 pounds overnight to make weight on Friday. Is that true?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Dana just talking about the potential return in July that's been discussed. Obviously, Tom Aspinall, he looks like he's been doing a great job presenting on the broadcast tonight, but he wants to return this summer. Marcin Tybura is the guy that's been discussed. Is that a fight that could potentially main event the London show this summer?
Yeah, I have no idea. Obviously, if Aspinall's ready and we come back to England, we would obviously use him, but we don't have a date for England. I mean, we didn't even know what the hell was going to happen tonight. So, but yeah, it looks like England has a world champion now, and we're going to be doing title fights here more. So
that's great news for the fans, and for yourself as a massive fight fan, you love it over here as well. There's probably going to be some of the biggest nights in UK MMA history on the horizon, even bigger than this tonight now.
I agree, and if you look at that division, there's a lot of great fights to make now if Leon's a champ. And, for people who've never been here, I say it all the time about the fans and the energy and things here, but also, every time you do a fight, it's about a destination. This city has the best hotels, great restaurants. I mean, the shopping is unbelievable. This is such a great place to come if you've never been. Not to mention the history and all the other things that are here. It's a great place. I'm so pumped that we're actually able to, do big title fights here with one of your own.
We really appreciate it as well. I don't know if you saw it during the week, but Conor said, London was potentially discussed for the Chandler fight, and he obviously pitched Croke Park in Dublin as well, which the logistics of that have always been difficult, hasn't it? Is that something that you think before Conor's career's over, he's going to have to main event in Dublin again with the star power he's got now?
Well, obviously when Conor was the champ and the double champ, I mean, I wanted to do Croke Park so bad, but logistically, it never worked out for us. We couldn't get them to work with us. They closed the subways down at a certain time that wouldn't have worked, and obviously we'd love to come back to Dublin too, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't even know when he's going to fight yet, and his next fight definitely wouldn't be in Ireland.
Dana, just over here.
Yep. Hi.
I know you said that Colby would be next for Leon, but I'm wondering if you saw that Islam Makhachev said that he would like to fight Leon in Abu Dhabi. I just wondered what your thoughts were on that.
Islam said that he wants to fight Leon in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Colby's next. Yeah, Colby's next.
And I know you spoke about...
We're going back to Abu Dhabi October 21st, but it definitely won't be Colby. I mean, it won't be Leon.
And you mentioned about, business here in London with Leon being champion. What does that do? We see the reaction that the fans had with the chants, the headshot. Can you talk a little bit about what that does for business here in the UK, having Leon as champion? Yeah,
like I was just saying to him, it's huge. This is a great destination for people who've never been here before. It's an incredible city with more than just coming for the fight. There's so much you can do here in London. You can fly in on a Thursday with your family or however you want to do it and have an incredible weekend here. It's one of the greatest cities on earth. And the weather isn't always great, but you can tough through it. But this city's amazing, and to have a champion here now is fun. We'll do some big fights here.
Do you see, sorry, last one from me. Do you see London as being a regular pay-per-view destination for you in the future?
London being a regular pay-per-view destination?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the champ fights 3 times a year, and we do them over here in London, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, realistically, when you think about it, we'd want to come over here, especially since COVID and everything that's been going on. You want to come over here as much as we possibly can. And you got to imagine if we did a fight in Vegas with them, give a lot of people from England an opportunity to go over to Vegas too. So.
Dana, over here.
Yep.
Just want to say thanks again for coming to the UK. Great show again. The last time you were in attendance, not the last show, the one before that, when you were here, you struggled to pick a fight. You struggled to pick a fight of the night. You ended up giving everyone a bonus. Did you struggle again tonight to work out who was the performance of the night?
Did you struggle to figure out who should get the bonus tonight?
No, it was pretty easy. Pretty easy to figure out tonight, yeah.
And also, Edward's coming out of Team Renegade, his gym. He's got Jake Hadley, Jai Herbert, and Arnold Allen obviously fighting soon. Does that really show how forward the UK has come, in the level of competition we can now offer against around the world?
What is exactly the question? Leon and his team.
So, Leon Edwards.
How far England has come in the MMA world? Yeah, I mean, if you look, I think the first time we came over here was like 2002, and there was like one jiu-jitsu school over here. But if you look at the amount of talent since then that's come out of this region, not just this country, but yeah, it just keeps getting better and better and bigger and bigger. And again, when you have, it's like when we came over here to Manchester with Michael Bisping, that really started the whole explosion over here. And now that you have a champ who has defended the title, we're bringing big title fights over here now. It's a huge game changer for the UK.
And would you go anywhere else in the UK location-wise, or is London going to be your main pay-per-view location?
I've had this debate with, people are always asking me, why don't you go here, why don't you go there? Yeah, the answer is yes. I don't know, we just have to figure it out. It's just something that we have to get in the office and look at and figure out. I mean, the O2 has been great to us, and London is a great city to hold fights, and I don't know. We'll see, but the answer is yes. And even if we didn't take Edwards somewhere else, we'd do fight nights, all across England. But yeah, we're going to start traveling again here. Get out of the Apex. The Apex is getting a little too cozy. We got to start getting out there and traveling again.
Fantastic. Really appreciate you coming back.
Hey, Dana.
Thank you.
Far right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
The O2, the lights went out for a few seconds. Do you know what went on there?
I have no clue. Some production shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to ask you about the point deduction for Leon. What were your thoughts? Did you agree with it?
Yeah. I mean, that was a blatant fence grab that stopped the takedown. You got to do it, especially when you look at stylistically how that fight goes. Usman's thing is to wrestle and take him down, and obviously, Leon wants to stand up, and you had to take that point.
Were you happy to see that? Because it's kind of been an argument in past fights that it hasn't been removed, like points don't get taken off of fence grabs. So are you happy to see that action be taken right away?
Was I happy to see it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I was happy to see it, but I'd rather there's no fouls and no points taken. I don't ever like to see a guy in such an important fight lose a point, but you can't blatantly grab the fence the way that he did.
Yeah, and one final one. What do you think is next for Kamaru Usman?
What's next for Usman? I don't know. He's got it's one of those things where he goes home and spends some time with his family and get his head clear and then let us know what he's thinking next. It's not really what we're thinking. What is he thinking?
Thank you.
Yep.
Dana down here, picking back off the question about traveling back to the UK. Traveling in the UK, sorry. Michael Bisping had his title defense in Manchester. Darren Till fought in Liverpool. Do you think that after this, Leon deserves the opportunity to fight in front of his crowd in Birmingham?
Birmingham, is that the question? I don't know. I don't know the arena situation over in Birmingham. What is it? Do you know it?
No, it's the NEC Arena. You guys went there, I think it was UFC 138.
How big is it?
I think it can hold like 12,000 people.
Yeah. All this shit's a blur to me. You know what I mean? I do this every Saturday night, so I don't know. The answer is yes. I mean, we would absolutely positively look at it, and just something we got to figure out.
And I know that you pretty much confirmed that Colby's going to get the next shot, but if Jorge Masvidal was to do something spectacular against Gilbert Burns, would you be willing to give him the title shot, given the history that he has with Leon?
Colby gets the next shot, no matter what happens.
Dana, just in front of you here. I wanted to ask, during the week, there was a little bit of controversy, maybe because you weren't looking for controversy with this Conor McGregor thing with the USADA situation. He's come out and he said that USADA is going to be fired, that perhaps there won't be any USADA with the UFC. What's the latest on that?
Conor said that USADA is going to be fired. He was trying to ask the latest on that.
So what's your question?
What's the latest with USADA? Are you going to maintain this relationship that you've got with them?
Have you ever heard of Jeff Novinsky?
Yeah.
Ask him these questions. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff anymore. That's his problem. I don't get involved in the drug testing situation whatsoever. I know nothing about it, and I don't want to know nothing about it. I leave it to the expert. He's the expert in this thing, and you guys call him and interview him anytime about it.
It seems pretty important, though. I mean, this is your biggest star who's coming back after 2 years out. This seems like the only thing in the way of it happening. He's ready to go. He could probably fight tomorrow if he wanted to, Conor, right? And Michael Chandler certainly as well. But this seems like the only stumbling block you guys have left.
Yeah, I mean, Conor coming back and coaching the Ultimate Fighter was like a step toward coming back. He was telling me Monday that it felt good to be there again, felt good to be in the gym with other guys, felt good to train, felt good to be in Vegas, all that stuff. I think it's, I don't know if Conor's not ready to come back and fight tomorrow, but the Ultimate Fighter was a big step in that direction and getting him back and getting him mentally and probably emotionally ready to start training and get back to camp.
By the way, actually, you're a big boxing guy. Can you believe they haven't made this Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight yet?
Can I believe that what hasn't happened?
Fury and Usyk.
Usyk and
Fury.
yeah. It's scheduled though, right? Isn't? No, never happened. Welcome to boxing, boys. I mean, is it shocking? Yes. Is it shocking? No. I mean, it's just, that is boxing. It's just the way that sport always seems to play out. The big fights that should happen never happen, and when they do, it's always late. And that's the stuff that used to drive me crazy as a fan, and it's literally part of how I designed this company to not be. We try to make the big fights when it's time to make the big fights. And I mean, think about this. Tonight on the prelims, you saw 11-0 versus 10-0 on the prelims. When's the last time you watched any show with any organization anywhere where and that fight was technically incredible, right? You don't see that stuff ever, except here. And that's by design.
Hi, Dana. Just over here. 1 year ago, I asked you, are UK fans the best in the world? And you said, if you've never watched a fight here, you need to definitely come here and watch one. So I wanted to ask you, how did the atmosphere today compare to the atmosphere to other fights you've been at?
Yeah, well, there's great atmospheres. You got Australia, which...
Sorry, I mean, how did the atmosphere in the UK today compare to all the other fights in the UK that you've been at?
Yeah, and it's always awesome. I mean, I don't know if I could compare it. I mean, this place is always, from the first fight of the night to the main event, you know, it could be one of your own fighting for the title or, you know, two guys from anywhere. And this place is always fired up, excited. You know, I love the chanting. I love the, you know, that seems like it's almost scripted, you know, how everybody just picks up the same thing and starts chanting it. Half the time, I don't even know what the hell they're saying, but they do. It's pretty fascinating. It's a fun place to come watch a fight. And I know a lot of people personally who flew out here for this fight to check it out.
And you did mention that you're going back to Abu Dhabi in October. Is it safe to say that Islam Makhachev will be headlining that card?
That who would be? Islam? It's possible. We don't have anything done yet. We haven't even talked to Islam about it yet, so.
And I know you may say it's possible to this next question as well, but Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira, would the winner of that be facing Islam Makhachev?
I don't know yet.
And just a final one from me. I think in the last week or so, there was some reports that Alex will be defending against Yair Rodriguez. I think is targeted for International Fight Week. Are you able to confirm that maybe that is the plan?
Shit, I don't know. But those two are definitely fighting. I don't know when it will be, though.
And just a final, very light-hearted question. One more thing you said last...
But if it was finalized, we would have announced it. You know what I mean?
One more thing you said to me last year, sorry. One thing you love about coming to England is you love the Asian/Indian food. So have you had time to have a good curry?
Gymkhana last night. Yes, it was incredible. It's amazing. Yeah. The Indian food here is next level.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana, just wanted to ask where we're at. Where are we at with Paddy Pimblett's return, and when can we see Paddy back?
Yeah, possibly in October.
Do you miss him on nights like this and in pay-per-views in general? And do you still think he's a bigger draw as he was in December?
Do I think?
Do you miss him on nights like this, and do you still think he's just as big of a draw as he did in December?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of guys that you know, depending on where you take them, that are exciting and fun. But Paddy's awesome and always fun to have on a card. Yeah, I guess the answer is yes to your question. Yeah, thank you.
Just a quick one here.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on Anderson Silva being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Anderson Silva being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time. And, yeah, finally. I mean, he should be. We invited him out, but he couldn't make it. We wanted him to be here for it, but he couldn't make it tonight.
Dana, one more.
Dana, hi,
Go ahead, brother.
When Justin was in here earlier, he was saying that he's fought Fiziev, who was behind him in the rankings. He now should fight in front of him in the rankings. Is that how you see that going? Do you think he'll fight someone in front of him in the rankings next? And the only guy that isn't booked, I believe, is Dustin Poirier. Would that make sense? And is there any idea of what's going on for Dustin next? You want me to say that again? It was a long question. Should Gaethje be fighting someone in front of him in the rankings? And if so, should it be Poirier?
Gaethje? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, tonight he fought a tough fight, close fight, and I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I understand what you're asking me. It puts him in like a weird position tonight. Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. This is, you know, a lot of these questions. We go home. And Tuesday, we get back in the matchmaking room and we start kicking ideas around. But
the problem is the fans are all excited now, Dana. We want to know now.
I hear you.
Well, the other thing is, I think JoJo Wood, she said in the media day that I think she's got this fight and then only one more fight on her contract. Does a win tonight mean that contract negotiations could start up with her again?
JoJo Calderwood only has one more fight left. Since she won tonight, does that mean that you guys might negotiate a contract?
Yeah, we love her. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get something done with her. Yeah, she's awesome to have around, and the answer is yes. Hell yes.
Great.
We'll get a new deal done with JoJo. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Dana, one more question from me. Are we going to see the Power Slap in the UK? Because I love that show, man. Are we going to see Power Slap come to the UK?
My man. It's fascinating you asked me that because the numbers were. It's baffling. It's funny because it's unbelievable and baffling, but at the same time, when I looked at this thing back in 18 and it had 350 million views coming out of, with the production value that it had and everything else, my big question was what would happen if it was done right, and we found out. And then tonight, Frank, who is the president of the company, hit me up and said that he's been fielding international calls over the last several days. So, a lot of people were shitting on this thing. Watch what we do with this thing in the next 2 years. And the answer to your question is yes. What we're doing now is we're going out and, getting this thing sanctioned everywhere. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can ask anybody, if you know anybody personally that was at the live event that night, it was fucking unbelievable. It was so much fun. It was crazy. So, yeah, I'm actually I'm excited about this thing. I haven't been like this fired up since like 2008 or something. So, yes, I'm excited about it.
If you need a matchmaker, let me know. I've got lots of guys interested.
I got it, all right. I might hit you up on that. We actually have a matchmaker. Her name's Erica. It's a woman, actually, who's the matchmaker for it. Yeah. But thank you.
Dana, over here.
Yeah.
The first question is, you said that Colby is next for Leon Edwards. So where does this situation put Belal Muhammad? He's on a great win streak. He's been complaining that Colby is ducking him. So what do you think about his position right now?
You know you got a bad accent when my translator doesn't know what you said.
No, I have a bad accident, yeah.
What's next for Belal? Where's Hunter? Who's Belal fighting? I forgot. Huh? Yeah. Rachmanov. We're working on it.
And I'm speaking about a longer perspective, like 5-10 years. You said that now Britain has a champion and you can hold pay-per-view events. What about having pay-per-view events in England even without British champion, with that kind of fans?
What do you think about having pay-per-view events in England without even a champion fight on it? Just having big fights here.
I think that's a really bad idea. Yeah. You do fight nights and they're not paid. Listen, times are tough right now, and we do like anywhere from 12 to 14 pay-per-views a year. To try to do pay-per-views. Do you work for ESPN?
No, hell not.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough to do to people. That won't happen. Not while I'm here, anyway.
Okay, and the last one from me. Every time you come to Europe, the reception is great. The last year's Paris was one of the best year's event. So do you have any specific plans for this year for a new location or maybe some location in Europe that weren't used in many years, like Sweden, Poland, Czech Republic?
Yeah, so I did a scrum yesterday. I was telling everybody that we have fights booked up until June right now. And on the, you know how the war room is laid out. I'm sure you've seen it online or whatever, but it'll tell the date and then where it is. And when it tells where it is, we have like 5 or 6 locations written on all the boards. So we're still kind of working on where we're going. But like I've said many times, we're ready to travel, and we're going to go to places that are easy to do business and cities that are destinations. Last year, every event was a sellout. We sold out every event last year, and with the exception of Brazil this year, every gate has been like a Madison Square Garden type gate. So, the fact that we're getting back out there and hitting these locations that we haven't been to in a long time, it's probably going to take us 3 years to hit all the places, you know, that we've been in the past. So it's not anything that's going to really happen this year. We'll hit all these big destinations, but over the next 3 years we will. Unless the world loses its mind again or something. I don't know.
Thank you. And
Thank
sorry
you.
for the accent.
What do you say?
Sorry for the accent, yeah.
Are you fucking with me now?
That was fucking perfect.
Thank you.
Dana down here. When I spoke to you last year, you said that getting to Africa was one of your bucket list things and one of your main priorities.
Africa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that still the case now that you no longer have African champions?
Yeah. No, listen, it's great if we have African champions, but that's not the reason we would go there anyway. It will happen before I retire. 2 things will happen before I retire. We will do a fight, at least one fight in Africa, and there will be a PI in Africa before I'm done here.
Fair enough. And I think earlier this week it was reported that you confirmed that Hamza Jamai will be going up to middleweight. Do you guys have any fights on the radar for him that you're potentially thinking, and where in the rankings would he jump in at?
Hamza? Yeah. Probably October.
Right, thank you.
Dana,
Yep.
recently you've been doing some videos where you make like announcements. I was just wondering when you're going to release the next one.
When I get home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little teaser there for us.
Yeah. Probably next week. Yeah.
Just a quick one in here. Was it nice to meet your new business partner, KSI, tonight?
Was it nice to meet KSI tonight?
I've known KSI for a while. Yeah. I didn't meet him tonight. I met him a few years. Yeah. He came over to headquarters a few years ago before any of this craziness and played video games with us and did some stuff like that. Yeah. No, I've known him for a few years. He's a great kid.
Happy to be in business with him?
Did I what? Yeah. No, he's a great kid. I like him a lot. Yeah. I was happy to see him come out tonight. You done with me? Yes, sir.
Hi, Dana. Sorry for my English. I would like to ask you, if possible, with only this year, in 2023, is possible that UFC came to Spain?
2023, could we go to Spain? Yeah, so it's interesting that you asked me that question. You know, Spain is obviously a place that we'd love to go, and Italy is another spot that we would like to hit too. But like I was saying to the gentleman in the back, it's probably going to be like a 3-year process as we start to, you know. It's funny because 44 events a year used to seem like a lot until you take a few years off from traveling around the world, and then you got to go back and hit all those spots again. But it's going to take like a 3-year process. But the answer to your question is yes. Spain and Italy we'd love to go to too, just like we would love to do a fight in Africa.
Okay. We will wait in Spain as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Was that a question? What did he say? You have no idea?
Huh? He just told you hurry up. He said hurry up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on it. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great night.